granted, when men cheat, people cheat, that do take a toll on your confidence. But Dennis also cheated while she was pregnant. That's gross. And I can see that, you know, how that could take a really big toll on her, you know, just feelings for him, period. Like, I love you, but you low-key trash. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Being Simone Iman. I am Simone Iman, and if you're here, you saw the title. We're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 13, Episode 6. In Being Simone Iman's neighborhood, we talk about whatever Simone Iman wants to talk about at the time. So sometimes I do television show reviews, sometimes I do product hauls, suggestions for you guys to watch on Netflix or Hulu, or sometimes it might be a vlog of me and my family doing something, or a travel vlog. So it just depends on what I got going on. If those are things that interest you, please hit the subscribe button. Also give me a big thumbs up on this video and come back, like, because it's lit over here. Anyway, let's get into the episode. Y'all, Housewives Season 13 is a slow burn, and I ain't gonna say it's because Nene ain't on there, but and she don't make the show. I don't know, maybe it's COVID. I don't know what it is, but let's hop into it. So the season starts off, or the episode starts off with Cynthia talking about how many guests she's having as opposed to what she expected. And I'm shocked too that so many people went to her wedding. A 200-person event in the depths of the pandemic in October. It's given we don't give a damn because we got rich people problems, so die peasants. And I'm not saying that's how Cynthia felt, but I just couldn't see myself attending an event like that. And you know, it wasn't necessary. Like, how good of homegirls are we? Like, how often do we talk? Like Giselle Bryant being there, like, it's kind of cloudy. A lot of them guests was clout chasing, I think. Anyway, Mike wants to invite Dennis to the wedding, but he's worried about Porsha. And I feel like low-key Porsha want him there, but we'll talk about that in Porsha and Cynthia's scene. Cynthia starts talking about inviting her father because he walked her down the aisle at her first wedding. And if you've watched Cynthia's storyline, you know that her and her father don't have the tightest, best relationship. She's closer with her mom, and that her mom has said that her dad was physically abusive in the past. She goes on to say that after the PSA, it made it worse for them with her father because he was offended by the things that were said about him on national television. Which I get, but sorry, if you ever raised your hand to a woman, you was wrong. And if the world gotta know it, hey, the world gotta know it. I didn't like the way Mike was talking to Cynthia about her mama though. It was giving, I'm your partner, I know what's best for you. Even though he was like, well, what does Cynthia Denise Bailey want? Like, granted, obviously this wouldn't be a conversation if she didn't want her dad to be there. But then also, you know, there's nothing, I can't discredit her for showing loyalty to her mother and caring about how her mom feels. And when her mama see this back, how is she gonna feel about Mike Hill talking about, you know, choosing, you know, you worried about everybody else and know what you want? Is your mama other people? Is your mama everybody else? Like, I would absolutely prioritize my mama's feelings. What about y'all? How y'all feel about y'all mama? Anyway, I also don't like his tattoo. If you follow him on Instagram, you know that that's his first tattoo, and he was 50 to get it, and it's weird. It's a microphone. Ugh. Anyway, we go into Drew's scene, and they're packing to move, and then Drew and Ralph are talking about his father passing. And I feel for Ralph. You can tell that he's already emotionally unstable person. With having a lack of emotion, there's a huge void there, and it's for a reason. And maybe it's because of the relationship that he did or didn't have with his father as a child. But the loss of his father is going to be tough, you know, no matter if they were closer or not close. Like, when there's that void your entire life, losing that person, I feel like that hit harder than that person just, you know, not being there by choice. Like, once they die, it's like, okay, this shit is done. Like, we can't never get this together. This is never gonna be an opportunity for us to fix this, because that's finite. Death is finite. Anyway, Drew has on this wig, so I'm starting to feel like Drew isn't a wig girl. And every girl, I don't feel like I'm a wig girl. I'm a natural part micro link type girl. That's just my lane. I don't like big hair, and I don't like hair that look fake. I feel like Drew wearing wigs because she in Atlanta. You know, and that's what the Atlanta girls is doing. Because they look good, don't get me wrong. They just don't look like they're her. You know, to me, less is more. I love more of an effortless look than a painted up, I'm a 10, I'm a dime, face beat, wet lace. Like, that don't have to be for every woman. Eva kind of, you know, let's give Eva her things. That effortless beauty, I think Drew would be more of an effortless beauty. She don't have to try so hard. But anyway, she and Ralph start talking about his father's passing, and then they go do a balloon release for his father, which was really sweet. You know, you can't do a lot of big stuff during COVID, so with him and his wife just being there on the balcony talking about what he had experienced and her supporting him through that, that was a beautiful moment. And with her mom there, I think that touched her mom as well. And then he apologized, and he's like, look, I'm me. And I think, you know, in relationships, sometimes when you choose a person, don't blame them, blame your picker. You chose that person. And so as the layers peel back and you realize who that person is, if you still choose to be with that person and be there, then that's on you, not on them. She is okay with him. Not saying she's okay, but she's trying to move past him being gone for 3 days. She don't need to browbeat him about that. Like, how y'all gonna improve this and move forward? How are we gonna make sure this doesn't happen again? Or how do we know, how do I know, or how do I, you know, teach you how to love me in that way where you know that that really hurts me, so you love me so much that you don't do those things. Like, relationships are like that. It's a lot of work in that sense. You know, when you say you love somebody, you're gonna spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want to marry somebody, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that takes a lot of forgiveness and a patience. A lot of those both. I think for Ralph, you know, one of his situation is, you know, his father's passing give him time to like look at himself. Like, what will your kids say about you when you pass? How will they feel about you when you pass away? Will you be missed? Will you be regarded? You know, when you lose somebody like that, you gotta kind of think about stuff like that. Like, ugh. Okay, what's my mark gonna be here on this earth with these children? How they gonna put me away? So then we get to Candy, and Candy is like doing YouTube videos and getting all her makeup and stuff done. You know, Candy has a huge social media presence. Candy is on all social media and she's active. She do the challenges, she does it all. Her engagement is like up there. That's how she won Masked Singer too, because she has such a big social media following. Those kind of shows like Masked Singer and Dance with the Stars is based on your fan base already coming into it and then growing it thereafter. Anyway, she also has all of her kids on Instagram and like YouTube, and it's weird. How do y'all feel about like infants with an Instagram and people writing the captions like the baby said it? That's weird to me. But anyway, she talks about Candy Cares and wanting her friends to give back, and she's going to do a grocery drive or like a grocery giveaway, which is super cute. People are dying, people are starving, and Cynthia's planning a super spreader wedding. They needed this storyline. They needed this event. I'm tired of seeing them eat at restaurants. They don't need to throw no more parties where it's just them there. Like, give back to the community. So this was right on time. And then she started talking about Block paying child support, and so Jody, that's her hairstylist, made it plain. That's how everybody else feel. Girl, give it up. Like, in principle, absolutely, Block owe you $90,000. Get Michael Sterling on the phone. In principle, but in jest and in reality, move on. You don't need it. You know, it's giving. She needs to add this to her storyline. But this has been a part of her storyline since her first season. We're over it. You don't need it. Housewives alone has allowed you to solidify a certain type of income where Riley gonna be all right. And stop talking about it. Like, Grant, he's wrong, y'all. Any man don't take care of his child is trash. We know this. But we don't have to keep talking about this man to be no dead horse. And as if I was Todd, What he busting all these restaurants open for if y'all still got an ass block for money? I ain't feeling it. Anyway, Cynthia and Porsha go and have a drink and a kiki, and Porsha says that PJ started daycare, she's doing so well, and then Cynthia's basically like, get to it, girl, what's going on with Dennis? Because Mike want to invite him to the wedding. Is that a problem? I think it was hilarious how the waitress kept coming and interrupting tea. Like, girl, you know that is super annoying when you want to talk about something real personal and here come the waitress. Wrong punch, thanks. Bye. You go get a tip. Anyway, Porsha's talking about how infidelity has affected her, you know, as far as her confidence, and she didn't gain weight and shit like that. And granted, when men cheat, people cheat, that do take a toll on your confidence, but Dennis also cheated while she was pregnant. That's gross. And I can see that, you know, how that could take a really big toll on her, you know, just feelings for him, period. Like, I love you, but you low-key trash. Anyway, she says that when she's with Dennis, she's like much more of a live wire. Like, little bitty things he do set her off. And like, that's a bad feeling with anybody. That's how you know you need to, you know, take a break. Y'all need a breath. And not saying like a break in a relationship, but maybe you need to go to Walmart and go to HEB or something and do the grocery shopping or something for a second. Like, give y'all some time apart. Because when you start snapping on folk because they took too long to go get the bottle, like, and then it's like, it's in my baby right here. Like, I'm cutting up like this in front of my baby. No. You can go back to your apartment in the city. Bye, Dennis. Go back to the hot dog factory. And then she's just like, you know, I'm fighting on the front lines for social justice. I don't want to fight at home. Sis, feel you. She tells Porsha tells Cynthia, use your coochie credit to make sure this man ain't at that wedding. But she wants him there. I mean, one thing I know is Porsha is not, you know, going to just be out there giving it away. Just like her celebrity status, she just don't give me like Tatiana. She don't give me that at all. Like, she loves Dennis. She wants Dennis. And if I'm gonna be looking this good at this wedding, take me home, Daddy. Like, you know, I want you to see me looking on 10s in my professional setting, looking like the bomb. And then at the end of the night, I want you to come home and tell me how much you regret what you did to our family. And I want you to see all this body yada yada in his face. She wants him there. And then we get to Cynthia, and Cynthia calls Noelle, and Noelle is beautiful. Noelle is my little spirit animal, okay? Her and her little cute influencer self. I love the way they talk to each other. Like, Cynthia and Noelle make me want to have my own daughter. I ain't doing it, but that's how they make me feel. And I love that Noelle is so empowered to be honest with her mom and talk to her mom and tell her mom how she feels. You know, and it's not seen as you disrespectful because she's being honest and speaking her mind. We get to the Candy Carrots event, and I love what she's doing, feeding the families. And then Tanya is the most excited person I've ever seen in my life. Everything excites her. Tanya gets there, and then Porsha gets there, and Joy is there, but we still don't know who Joy is. They just keep putting her name at the bottom of the screen. Somebody needs to introduce her to Joy. Candy needs to put Joy on speak on it, because she ain't speaking on shit. She just in the scene. Anyway, Cynthia's not there because she wants to get her marriage license. Kenya shows up, and then Kenya's obviously, look, Kenya ain't got nothing, not one thing for Porsha but shade. Oh, Porsha's here for her photo op, of course. Like, girl, you came here on that energy. Okay. The girls start talking about Dennis and him coming to the wedding, and everybody's into the conversation but Kenya. Like, Kenya literally cannot stand the fact that Porsha is center peach. I'm talking in the intro, I'm talking in their social circle, I'm talking at the engagement party when Porsha walked in late and everybody wants to talk to Porsha. Like, Kenya cannot take Porsha as center peach, and it's too bad because it's inevitable. She's more interesting than you, and she's nicer. All the girls are kind of like, yeah. Candy was like, yeah, he told Todd the same thing. Let the man come to the wedding. That's one thing I can say I agree with Kenya on. Y'all always back and forth. This is your child's father, this is your fiance. Let the man, he a part of the circle. Let him come to the goddamn wedding. And then Candy started talking about donations, and she says that Porsha donated. She says that Marlo donated, or Marlo comes and gives a donation, but the shade is Kenya did not donate. And I watched the chat room afterwards, and Porsha kind of alluded to that too. The person talking junk is the person who did not donate. And then Kenya calls Drew a stray again, which is so weird and raggedy. And then Kenya brings up going on a trip, but it's really hard to plan anything right now because of COVID. And they settle on South America. Cynthia and Noelle. So Cynthia and Noelle headed out to see her mom child. Noelle walked out like a model, girl. She forgot about Miss Cynthia Bailey with that umbrella. I think it was such a cute scene when they're riding and Noelle is like, influencer mode. And Cynthia is like, oh, okay, you glad to be here? When last time you talked to grandma? Like, that was a really cutely edited scene. Cynthia tells Noelle that she wants to ask her mom about inviting her dad to the wedding. And immediately, Noelle was like, oh, that's why you got me here. Because, you know, if I'm with you, grandma, I'll take it a little easier on your ass. They get to her mama house, child, and they got on these masks. Okay, I don't know if y'all know this, but face shields are not to be worn in place of masks. You're supposed to wear a mask and a face shield. They have on face shields and they hugging and kissing. Somebody call the CDC, goddamn, because they should have had orientation or something before they filmed this season. They get in the kitchen and Mal is there. Her mom is cooked. The food did not look good. Is that how they cook in Alabama? The sweet potatoes looked dry. The macaroni was frozen. She put that in the oven. It was a frozen dinner. The pork chops, the gravy had done gelled together. It looked like she didn't even cooked the flour down. It was just a mess. There wasn't no pork chops left. It wasn't even enough for little Noelle to get no plate. Anyway, so Cynthia asked her mom about inviting her dad, and her mom is basically like, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'm gonna just walk around with my mask over my eyes. So obviously she doesn't want him there. When she said that she gonna walk around with the mask over her eyes, you might as well, because you wear face shields without masks. So you might as well just put the thing over your eyes, sis, because you ain't saving nothing. Come to find out that her mom said that she was also mad about a post that Cynthia made for Father's Day for her dad. Her mom just seems very bitter, you know, and there are resources out there for women to not be bitter, but she's of that era and that age where she ain't gonna pursue all that. She's just gonna be bitter and not like that man to her dying day, and that's her right, okay? That is her right, especially if he put his hands on her. She said that she didn't realize what the PSA was until after it came out on television. And all the people from Alabama that she knew judged her and said she was lying because that man go to church. I'm sure all the people in Alabama did say that. But I also don't buy that, you know, her mama didn't realize what she was doing. Like, you know you on a TV show. You know this is a TV show. This is going to be on TV. So you can't hold Cynthia accountable for what you said on camera. Just tell her, I didn't realize that was going to happen and now I regret it. Don't tell her she shouldn't have done that. No, you shouldn't have done it if you didn't want to. But here nor there, Cynthia, as any good child should, apologizes for the confusion, and then she asks her mom about inviting her father. And basically Noelle is like, I said what I said, it's a no. I've only seen this man one time in my life, but I don't have to think about the number of times I've seen my grandmother. So she don't ask us for nothing. If she don't want him there, he don't need to be there. And I think that's it. We don't need to talk about nothing else. Cynthia said, I received that. There's nothing else to do with it, but people receive it. I always tell people though, when it comes to getting divorced and, you know, ending relationships and separating families, divorce is not just the end game today. You got to look toward the future. So when you divorce somebody, you got to realize at some point I'm going to have to share a space with this person, especially if we have children again, and it's going to be awkward for my children. My children are going to have to decide who they should invite, who they shouldn't invite. They're going to have to give all these pre-game coaching speeches to their parents about don't say this, don't do that, don't act like this, don't act like that. So you have to be very aware and really weigh your situation out. Is it worth fighting for the relationship, or should the relationship end? Because really it affects these children even up until they're 53 years old. Okay, anyway, you guys, Real Housewives of Atlanta is slow as molasses, but here we are. I will be back next week with another review and recap of Being Simone Iman. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and come see me every week. I drop 2 videos a week over here, okay? See y'all next week. Bye.